I'd like to call Safety Services and License Committee to order tonight. Okay, clerk, could I please have a roll?
Councilwoman Graziano,
Present.
Councilman Andujar,
Present.
Councilman Ritz, Council Trafficante, Council Vice President Wall,
Here.
Councilwoman Horoyan,
Present.
Council President Marino.
Present.
Is there anyone here from the public? Okay, is there anyone here from the public that would like to comment on agenda items only tonight? Tom, is there anyone online?
I see no public comment online.
Do you see someone? You see no one?
I see no public comment.
Okay, thank you. We're gonna go right on to Victor and License Artesian Bites. Is there anyone here? Could you just, do we have a microphone? Okay. Thank you for coming back tonight. Is there anything you'd like to say to us?
No, just thank you for having me back tonight. I'm excited to be here.
Okay. Oh, your name and your home address, please, for the record.
Ashley, Ashley, and Bove, Bove. Welcome. And it's 51 Norfolk Street in Cranston.
Okay, today we do an artisan bite at 1375 Park Avenue. Hours of operation, 7 a.m. to 3 p.m., Monday through Tuesday through Friday, Saturday and Sunday, 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. Is that still the hours you were asking for?
So I thought about it and I was going to see if we could do 10 p.m. on weekdays, 8 p.m. on weekends. Only because I host charcuterie workshops at night. So
Yeah.
people come in and build boards and stuff.
Solicitor, would that be okay if we extend our hours today?
Yes, it's normally it's controlled by the hours, which is stated on the application. So rather than amend the application, I think a motion, just a motion to extend the hours would be appropriate.
Would you like me to make that motion now?
Motion to extend the hours.
Second.
All right,
Second.
a second, okay. Any discussion? No, okay, excellent. All right, could I
You
please,
need to call for a vote on
a
that.
roll call? Clerk, may I please have a roll call vote?
Councilwoman Graziano,
Yes.
Councilman Andujar,
Yes.
Council Vice President Wall,
Yes.
Councilwoman Horoyan,
Yes,
Council President Marino.
Yes.
okay, and I understand.
Present.
Usually we have to keep pressing in our chamber. Clerk, did you receive the Department of Health?
Yes, we received it this afternoon.
So everything is submitted. All right, may I please have a motion to approve this?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Any discussion?
This is correct.
I do.
Your
Yeah,
mic-
so-
you-
Yep.
We apologize.
It's okay.
It's a gray area in the law. We're happy that you're open.
Thank you.
We're
I'm
glad
happy.
that you got your health. So we just, invite us to the ribbon cut.
Yeah,
We'll be there.
absolutely. Thank you.
Enjoy. Welcome.
Clerk, may I please have a roll call?
Councilwoman Graziano,
Yes.
Councilman Andujar,
Yes.
Council Vice President Wall,
Yes.
Councilwoman Horoyan,
Yes.
Council President Marino.
Yes.
Solicitor, now it's been voted out of Safety Services. Will this need to go to the full council?
No, once these are approved, unless it's over the caps,
Okay, thank you.
no.
You are all set. Enjoy.
Beautiful. Thank you, guys. I can't wait to see you come in and have some lattes and honey truffle grilled cheeses. Thank you.
Okay, next on the agenda, we have Seven Stars Bakery located at 1740 Broad Street. I understand Tracy is not present, but Karen, would you like to come up? If you could just state your name and your address for the record.
Kara Marasian. Okay, got it, sorry. Kara Marasian, 851 Warden's Pond Road in Wakefield.
Excellent. Is there anything you'd like to tell us tonight?
No, I've done, well, actually, yeah, a couple things. I know I don't have our health department yet or our certificate of occupancy. And we're still waiting on them because we're not ready for those to be done. So some towns that I've gone to, I can come to the meeting and then it's just pending it. But if I have to come to another meeting, I understand that too. I guess I'm learning the way it works in Cranston. Yes.
Okay, and
Yeah.
you don't have a grand opening scheduled till June?
We're gonna do one, we hope, in May. Yeah.
Okay, what was the date you were looking at?
We're hoping the week of like May 6th, like that week. But we are still kind of waiting on, obviously, the Department of Health to come in and say that we're good for that date.
Yeah, do you have a date for the Department of Health inspection?
Right now, I have them coming the 28th or the 29th, but I have to see a few construction things be completed next week before I can finalize it.
So we don't meet again until May 5th,
Right,
Yeah.
but they could get it on May 5th if they have the CFC done.
right, so I should continue. Solicitor?
I just want to make sure I've got the facts straight,
Sure.
because I heard there might be a June opening, but now it's a May opening. Which is it?
No, we weren't shooting for June. No, I'm not sure.
Okay, I thought,
That might have been my mistake, okay, I
Oh,
thought
yeah,
you.
no, that's
Okay.
fine.
can I
yeah.
just ask, when is next scheduled safety services meeting?
May 5th.
And you're targeting that
That
first week
week,
of May?
yeah, hopefully.
Obviously, it's up to the committee, but what I
Yeah.
would suggest is that we continue this one more time since we can't get it in before the anticipated opening. If there's still outstanding issues and the committee at that time decides that they want to grant it subject to, they can do that, but understand, you won't be able to open
Yeah,
until these requirements are fulfilled.
yes,
But, if you were going to open in 2 weeks, then, their feeling might be different. They could grant it subject to, so you wouldn't have to wait an additional 2 weeks. But there's no harm in continuing this. Of course, it's up to the committee, but I would advise continuing this just one more time. And we'll see what
Okay.
happens then.
May I please have a motion to continue this?
Motion to continue.
Second.
Any discussion? Absolutely.
I just had one question regarding the CFC, certificate of occupancy. We can't issue it without that, correct? Okay. Right, okay. So they definitely have to be continued, and if they come back on the 5th and they don't have that, we cannot issue it subject to.
Correct.
Thank you.
yeah.
Councilman Underhill?
So by delaying this, you're gonna bring the new POS systems to this.
We will have the new
I'm
POS
a
system
hoarder of
there.
points. There's other people here that like to spend them, but I save all mine, so.
Yes,
thank you.
we will have our new POS system there, yes.
Okay.
So if we come on the 5th, though, we're saying that's when, we won't expect to open that week if we don't have our certificate of occupancy. Definitely, that won't be our expectation. If we don't have that yet, we won't be looking to open that week. Something must have happened construction-wise in that case, yeah.
Okay, excellent, thank you. Clerk, may I please have a roll call vote on continuing this?
Councilwoman Graziano?
Yes.
Councilman Andujar?
Yes.
Council Vice President Wall?
Yes.
Councilwoman Horoyan?
Yes,
Council President Reno?
Yes.
all right, may I please have,
Motion to adjourn.
okay? All those in favor say aye, all those,
Aye.
thank you.
I'm going to call the meeting to order of the Department of Public Works Committee this Thursday, April 17th, 2025 at 6:02 PM. Clerk, may I please get a roll call?
Councilman Campiano, Councilman Banano,
Present.
Councilman Andujar,
Present.
Council Vice President Wall,
Here.
Councilwoman Haroyan,
Present.
Councilwoman Graziano,
Present.
Council President Reno.
Present.
Thank you. Approval of meeting minutes of March 13th, 2025. May I get a motion?
Motion to approve.
Second.
May I get a roll call, clerk?
Councilman Campiano,
So I didn't do
Councilman
discussion.
Banano,
Yes.
Councilman Andujar,
Yes.
Council Vice President Wall,
Yes.
Councilwoman Haroyan,
Yes.
Councilwoman Graziano,
Yes.
Council President Reno.
Yes.
Committee business carried over. There are no matters before the committee, so we're going to move on to public comment on matters docketed only. Is there anyone here that would like to speak on matters docketed this evening? Not seeing any. Are there any on the Zoom meeting?
I see no public comment.
Okay, that means we're going to close public comment. New matters before the committee this evening, there are none. Moving on to council communications, Councilwoman Haroyan requested 2 updates. We're going to start with Budlong Pool update, and I see Mr. Moretti is present in the audience. If he would like to come up and join us for an update.
Happy to be with you. Unfortunately, not happy, to report on the progress or the lack thereof with the Budlong Pool. Try to put this thing up here. As you know, and as reported, there's been really no change in that. It basically, we do not anticipate having the pool open this year. It's just too much time has gone on, the repair, if you will, and the process for draining the pool. It's not going to be feasible. Unfortunately, very unfortunate this year. As to the progress, there's good progress going on in the pool house, but obviously you need both to make this thing work with the pool. As to inside the pool house progressing as expected, there's no work that's being done expeditiously. That work would probably be done towards the end of July, but obviously the pressure's off. We could have accelerated that somehow, but we just choose not to do that because it'd be insignificant if we did. As to the problem that we ran into with hitting that or discovering that aqueduct, there's been no progress in that other than to report that the remedy for that would be, I believe, as I may have stated, that it's going to be draining just outside the pool. We'll call it a vault. It's about 4 by 4. Whereas that aqueduct went into that vault area. And then if you extend it another 15 to 20 feet, it'll be into the pool. But it's to basically cap that vault or the aqueduct at the vault site. And by doing so, we would need to drain the water that's in that vault and then place sandbags to hold the sandbags back and basically pour concrete in that vault. It sounds simple enough, but nothing simple. So we're going out to get quotes on that to do that work. And then once that's completed, then it would be the process of draining the good sum of water that is in the pool as a result of it. That's really it. To say completion of the pool, unfortunately, it's probably going to be in the October timeframe, but obviously past the season.
Thank you. I just had a couple questions, and I'm sure my committee members have some as well. So I'm just trying to picture this in my head. So it's concrete piping. What's the diameter on the piping that's carried to the vault?
I don't know.
is it estimated seasonal high groundwater that's?
I can give an, I've seen it, I can give an estimate. Maybe I'm just gonna
18 inch.
approximate 2 feet by 2 feet in that time, in that.
So let's say it's a 24-inch concrete pipe.
It's a concrete cap with stone sides and bottom. And that perforation allows the water to be.
Oh, it's a dry well.
It's an aqueduct, I've been told. I'm not aware of a dry well. No one's reported a dry well.
Okay, and the PE that's working on the contractor's end, what have they provided as documentation and recommendations?
It's been working collaboration. I called Mr. Correo on the way here. He didn't answer the phone. Certainly, it's a site observation in agreement. I believe there's no formal report. But two engineers from the contractor, if you will, or pardon me, with the engineering firm and our engineer, it seems like it'd probably be pretty conclusive. What I share with you is probably pretty accurate.
Okay, do you all feel like, I mean, I personally believe this should be in some type of documentation writing to cover the city's end, that the PE working for the contractor should make a recommendation to our PE, and then you all should make a decision what you
Yeah,
want to do.
I could see what correspondence or what reports, but certainly it's going to be documented in the form of actually when it goes out to bid in terms of what needs to be done. You're never going to be able to be absolutely, unless we want to spend time and money, really getting to the complete source of it by piping and digging up the pipes. It's probably insignificant at this point, but obviously conclusive enough that it's as simple as what I described. There may be a report, but it's not in the form of a formal report. It'll be documented. It certainly is. I'm sure, I trust it's documented. If not, it will be documented.
I just personally have concerns at what the impacts would be if you did in fact fill this with concrete. I guess my concern is the displacement of water and the changing of the water table and how that would affect the overall project.
Yep, it will that perforation where the water will fill. The water table will rise insignificantly from what Mr. Correo has reported, but have no real impact during the wet season. The water table is about 4 feet. It would rise somewhat, but in the dry season, he says, given it's all ball field, that it would not have a realistic impact on any structures there, or so.
Okay, I'm going to stop talking even though I have 1,000 questions. I'm going to let Councilman Bonanno go take a stab.
I just want to confirm, and correct me if I'm wrong, Director. Previously, it was stated, I believe, it was either one of the council meetings or one of these meetings. I forget if it was a committee meeting or a council meeting, but for lack of a better term, the vault that was found was supposed to have been abandoned years ago, and the way they abandoned it was not structurally sound. Therefore, it is now back to filling up and draining in a spot where it's not supposed to. Is that sort of an accurate summary?
There's no documentation that has been found about the source of all this.
Okay.
But there is this vault. We could say what exists. We're calling it a vault. I don't know, someone could call it something different, but it's approximately a 4 foot by 4 foot deep, 4 foot wide, 4 foot long grave. It's capped with concrete. It took an effort to uncap it because it was solid, solid to the adhering to the other concrete within the vault. But it was a pipe that came in to that vault area that that emitted water, if you will, allowed a flow. Don't know why. No one can explain why. Engineers can't even theorize what it was there for. Then that pipe on the other side of that 4 foot structure just continued that pipe or aqueduct, as I described, and made its way where the pool was. So it wasn't a continuous pipe, but it stopped. That water would fill and go into why that was done. It's going to be a mystery, we think, unless we want to invest a lot of money archaeologically to.
Right. No, I
figure this out.
don't
Checking the
think,
records.
I think that and I might echo Councilwoman Graziano, but I'm not an engineer, and I know Councilwoman Graziano works in wastewater is her industry. I stamp license plates. My question for the engineers would be, would capping this vault and isolating it so it no longer works, that's not going to have any detrimental effect on the surrounding area and the integrity of the new pool.
That is
And I
what-
think that's what we would probably need when they scope out the work. This is what needs to be done because we don't want to, damage the integrity of the new pool. I
We
that
think
everybody
we
wants
think the council and the administration has the same mindset.
that. Yeah, good.
That was
Okay.
the first question, to make sure that it will not affect the integrity of the pool. So that is a basic premise to the work that's going to be done.
All right, but I just want, I
And
know
that
that.
comes from, again, the external engineers and our professional engineer, Mr. Corrego.
All right, and I think, that's what everybody wants, and
That's-
we're on the same page. So, all right, thank you. Thank you, Chairwoman.
I'm gonna look around the table and see if anyone else, Councilman Andujar would like to speak.
Director, so it's not gonna open this year. Do you think it will open next year?
I would very much gamble on that. Again, the pool should be complete in the October timeframe. Again, we're not going to rush it per se because it's going to be inconsequential, but it will be prepared, ready to go. Then what we would need to do is just begin the opening process next spring, late spring for the summertime.
Don't forget to
It-
invite us.
it's,
Thank you. We're good.
Let me invite you right now.
Okay, so I'm gonna, Council President Marino, I'm gonna recognize her.
Thank you. I'm not sure if this is within bounds to ask, but if you anticipate it being opened or at least ready by next spring, do we need to make allocations in the current budget to accommodate those expenses?
Well, what I meant by that is if the council wishes to adjust the budget, because correct, the funding for the pool is based in fiscal 20s, will be based in the following year, July 1. I believe that Director Piscopello is ordering using some of the funds for the Parks and Rec funds under opera that is procuring those supplies to be, to open it up. So at that point, it's really just going to be opening up the valves, getting it ready. When I say next spring, I'm probably talking spring runs to like June 21st. So we're talking like the May, June timeframe to make sure it's prepped, ready to go, for July. If we wanted to open the pool sooner, certainly, then we'd probably have to allocate some funds in the budget you're addressing at this time.
Okay, I guess we're reliant on you to let us know, we're under the gun now with the budget. So if you do anticipate that, you can just let us know in the next 24 hours if something needs to be adjusted. Thanks.
Okay, just to add to, at this time, that it was not, we're planning on the first week in July opening of 2026.
Great, thank you. I was drawing pictures, thank you. Okay, so it sounds like Councilman Bonanno and I are just confirming that we are going to get an engineer's recommendation from their engineer to our engineer and a confirmation in writing.
Sure.
Great,
Whatever, what in the normal course of events, whatever we will have, happy to share it with you.
great, thank you very much. So if no one has any more comments on that item? Yep, I know. Yes, yes. So we're going to head over to the Doric splash pad, and we're going to also hear from Mr. Moretti to get an idea of what's happening for the construction over at Doric Park.
Yeah, this is a rush project, as we conveyed earlier. Councilwoman, you're welcome to come in. I haven't seen the plans because we're really asked Mr. Piscopello to move this along as quickly as we can. But whatever plans that he may have, certainly in your ward, welcome to pop in and take a peek. I haven't even seen the plans. The city has contracted O'Brien and Sons but we have Megan O'Brien working with us, so I don't, maybe it should be sons and daughter. But she's a very reputable company that does this line of work. So I've heard that the pool supplies, if you will, or the equipment, toys, as you will, are on order. And there's, at this point, there's a delivery time, the estimating of 8 to 10 weeks, but we're going to be checking on that and pressing the company to see how accurate that is. So there's that. Concurrent with that, what's remaining for Ms. O'Brien to provide us with is the plan design for electricity and water. The thought process right now is to get a feed from Providence Water from Dark Avenue, to the splash pad. So we want to get that. Once we have those, I'll say, design plans in place, we're going to be going out to the state MPA, looking at those contractors and receive bids to get going on the construction. So probably in that timeframe, construction could be beginning in sometime in the June timeframe. I would say this splash pad, and believe me, we need to find out more information relative to timing, but I think at the very earliest to be July 1, probably the very latest August 1. So hopefully we can get it done early July, but it depends on, I think primarily is going to be the lead time for the equipment. And in terms of the, we're expecting those plans back from O'Brien tomorrow or early next week. At that point, we'll be able to go soliciting bids and moving on. So I have a feeling that timeframe would be a little bit more expeditious towards the July 1, but at this point, just playing it safe with the conservative lead times, that's what we're looking at.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate that. I am going
Through
to
the chair.
see if any committee members would like to speak on this matter.
I just wanted clarification if Councilwoman Haroyan would like these continued or taken off the agenda for next month.
Take it off the agenda.
Okay.
Okay, Anthony, Director Moretti, do you know which basketball court? Is it the one closest to the parking lot or to the bathhouse?
It's the left near there's a toilet facility, I believe. So if you're looking from Doric, the one to the left will be the splash pad.
Okay,
At the same time, the basket, I could have mentioned this, the other basketball court's going to be repaved.
oh, excellent, thank
Okay.
you. And do you expect those facilities to be open this summer?
The excluding what I mentioned about the relative to the splash pad, yes,
Okay,
sure.
I walk there a lot and I've never seen them opened, including last summer, so,
Locked?
yeah.
They'll be open.
Okay, thank you.
Would anyone else, Councilman Wall?
Yes, Director, so that was my question. It's going to be on one of the two basketball courts?
Yes.
And it's been a while since I've been over there, but if I recall, that's a well-used basketball court. A lot of kids play there every night. When this dilemma is done, are we planning on returning it to its original state?
At this time, no, we plan on keeping that, that'll be permanent.
Permanent splash pad?
Yep, and we can monitor that use for, if there's another court that could or should be built. But as you know, pickleball's, picking up, so, there's debate about that. But no, but this is intended, this will be here for many, many years going forward in terms of the splash pad.
Thank you.
Great, thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else on the committee? Okay, great. Thank you very much. So next up is another council communication. It's from myself, and it's with regards to Broad Street Patuxent Village sidewalk repair. I don't know, Mr. Moretti, if you have any knowledge of this, and you spoke with Mr. Correo. He's supposed to be amending a portion of the sidewalk in the village where we specifically have the stamped concrete that looks like brick. One of our residents over on Ocean Avenue, 162, removed a rather older tree and it pulled out the root system. And now we're looking to ensure that that area is stabilized and consistent with the stamped concrete around it. And I had excellent meetings with DPW and the owner of the house. So just, I don't know if you've gotten an update and you can give me an update.
Yeah, they are expecting bids back, I believe, for that job, either tomorrow or early to mid next week.
Okay.
And then it to be awarded. And by the time it's done, I think it's probably safe to say by the end of May, probably earlier, but safe to say. We'll pull a Rhode Island DOT. Everything's on budget on time because they push all the projects out many, many years. But in this case, realistically, no later than the end of May. We'll do it as soon as we can, but that'll be up to the contractor at that point. So yes, the work really to be performed is where the tree was uprooted. If you look going down the sidewalk, you'll see a mound of dirt, if you will, that and then it slopes into the existing sidewalk, but there's an area kind of cut out for the tree, so it's uneven. So it's really to grade the extra mound that actually protrudes onto the sidewalk. Dig down and then grade it with 6 inches of gravel, and then pour stamped concrete over it to match as best as possible the existing stamped concrete.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate that because a gentleman that lives there has been asking me a number of times. So I wanted to get back to him and let him know. So I will let them know end of May.
Hopefully earlier, but I would say end of May is safe.
Great. Thank you. I appreciate that. Okay. Is there anyone else on the committee that would like to speak on the sidewalk? President Marino, go ahead.
Thanks. Director Moretti, I also have heard from that resident too about the status. So I appreciate Councilwoman Graziano addressing it tonight. And I just want to express, it's reassuring to hear the timeline this evening, particularly because that resident is concerned, rightfully so, about Gatsby Day and all of the pedestrians at that time. So we appreciate it. Thanks.
Yes, we recognize that in the timing.
Yeah, that'll be close. Anyone else on the committee like to speak on this matter? Okay, seeing none, I am going to entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? We are adjourned, 6:25.
Like to convene the Ordinance Committee on Thursday. Oh, hello. Oh my God, no. I like the other ones better, but okay. All right, I'd like to call the Ordinance Committee to call to order. Today is Thursday, April 17th at 6:30. Clerk, may I have a roll call?
Councilman Campiano, Councilman Banano,
Here.
Councilwoman Graziano,
Present.
Councilwoman Haroyan,
Present.
Council Vice President Wall,
Here.
Councilman Andujar,
Present.
Council President Reno.
Present.
May I entertain a motion to approve the minutes from the March 13, 2025 meeting?
So move, Mr. Chairman.
Second.
Clerk, may I have a roll?
Councilman Banano,
Yes.
Councilwoman Graziano,
Yes.
Councilwoman Haroyan,
Yes.
Council Vice President Wall,
Yes.
Councilman Andujar,
Yes.
Council President Reno.
Yes.
Okay, no matters have carried over. Public comment. Is there anyone in the crowd that would like to speak on any docketed items? You have 30 seconds. See nobody. Madam Technical Clerk, is there anyone online?
I see no public comment.
Okay, public comment will be closed now. Moving on, new matters. Ordinance and the amendment of Title II, Chapter 20 and 28 to the Code of the City of Cranston, 2005, entitled Administration and Personnel, sponsored by the mayor. May I have a motion to approve?
So move, Mr. Chairman.
May I make amendment, Mr.
There'll be a
Chairman?
motion to forward to the full council.
Chairman, if
Like the
Chairman.
discussion?
you
Yes.
recognize.
Chairman, I'm going to recuse from this matter and step out of the room if somebody can let me know when you're over with.
You are recused.
I'll- I'll second it.
Okay, we have a second. Is there any discussion? Chairman Wall.
All right, I'd like to amend this ordinance on about line number 41. I'd like, on line 41, I'd like it to say, to take effect January 1st. This ordinance shall take effect commencing January 1st, 2026, correct?
Thank you. Solicitor, would you like to say anything?
No, Councilman Cutler.
Okay,
So is that a motion for amendment?
Second.
So I'll second that. I'll second that.
Second,
Yes.
discussion? Clerk, may I have a roll call?
Councilman Banano,
Yes.
Councilwoman Graziano,
Yes.
Council Vice President Wall,
Yes.
Councilman Andujar,
Yes.
Council President Reno.
Yes.
Okay. May I pause for a minute while we get our Councilwoman Haroyan back into the room?
Well, no, I'm sorry. Point of order, Mr. Chair. We have to vote on the actual,
Motion to approve as amended.
Second.
yeah, we already have that, so we discussion. I just have a question. Have we paid anybody that is dead?
Director, please state your name for the record.
Director Zadelis, through the chair to the council, I believe in the past, direct deposits have gone out without our knowledge that the individual has passed, and the only recovery is a lawsuit, which I believe has been commenced. But the short answer is yes. And the purpose of this ordinance is to try to, for no better term, ferret out, when people pass. And so this is a commonplace occurrence with pension systems. And the intent is to prevent the situations which you just described.
Yeah, I mean, I would hope. For instance, my grandfather passed and the following month, he received his railroad pension. My mother and I said, well, we'll leave the expletive out, but oh boy, he passed away, so we sent the check, we sent the check back. Yeah. So I would hope that the citizens would do that, but as we know, not everybody is as upstanding as everyone else. So
And if
I
I,
would support this.
thank you.
Is there anyone else? Seeing none. Clerk may I have a roll.
Councilman Banano,
Yes.
Councilwoman Graziano,
Yes.
Council Vice President Wall,
Yes.
Councilman Andrew Har,
Yes,
Council President Reno.
Yes.
motion carries. There are no council communications. Entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
All those in favor say aye.
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 All right, good evening and welcome to the April 17th Special Finance Committee meeting. At this time, I'd like to call the meeting to order, and I ask the clerk to please call a roll.
Councilwoman Graziano, Councilman Andujar,
Present.
Councilman Ritz, Councilman Trafficante, Councilwoman Horoyan,
Present.
Council Vice President Wall,
Here.
Council President Marino.
Present.
Okay, thank you. First item of business on tonight's agenda will be public comment. Is there anyone in the auditorium this evening who would like to make public comment? I see none. So there being none, I'll ask, is there any public comment online?
I see no public comment.
Okay, with that in mind, I will close public comment. Under new matters before the committee, this time we're going to entertain a motion for ordinance, well, excuse me, 42501S, ordinance amending the city council, the city of Cranston 2024-25 municipal budget. Before I take a motion, I'm going to ask Director Moretti to speak on it, and then I'll look for a motion.
Sure, thank you. This ordinance is I'll call it a companion ordinance to parallel that of one of the line items in the next year's budget. But in recognizing the need for a DPW director in this current year to come on board before hopefully that Mr. Correo would be confirmed. Council President pointed out, if we want to get going on this position in this fiscal year, it might be wise to present an ordinance of this nature, and that's what we've done. So it's really to change the salary schedule and, within this year's budget, if you will, to modify the salary for the Public Works Director from the amounts that are indicated in the ordinance. And it's going from a salary of $135,668.07 to $172,000. This matter was addressed, I believe, fairly thoroughly at the last Finance Committee meeting in terms of the merits of changing this salary, a highly competitive market for PE with the amount of experience that we're able to get with the Mr. Correo and just the market in general. So this is really, as I mentioned, a companion ordinance so we can affect the hiring if the council at the end of this month gives advice and consent to him to allow that to happen. Any questions? Happy to entertain.
Are there any questions for Director Moretti? Okay. Attorney Angel just pointed out something to me here. If you look at the, I know the Director Zadelis has signed off on it, but it says, I hereby certify that the anticipated sufficient funds are available to fund the proposed ordinance for the period ending on June 30th, 2025.
Yeah, so this is, the mayor's budget puts forth to the council fiscal 25-26. So again, this is to accelerate his hiring in this current fiscal year, which is 24-25. In terms of, we don't anticipate being over budget as a result of this change. It's really, as you know, that we've had the chief engineer's position vacant for basically the whole time. We've been using some temporary help relative to the DPW director's position, but there's sufficient funds to cover this incremental cost for this fiscal year.
In that intervening period between the new fiscal year and the end of this. Oh, so pretty much this just covers between the end of this fiscal year to the beginning of the next.
That is correct. And then the new budget would take effect whatever the council approves.
Thank you. Any other questions? All right. Is there a motion to approve?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Any further discussion? Seeing none, clerk, would you please take the roll?
Councilman Andujar,
Yes.
Councilman Horoyan,
Yes.
Council Vice President Wall,
Yes.
Council President Marino.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Seeing no further business before this committee, I'll be looking for a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, signify by saying nay. The ayes have it. Thank you very much and good night.